Welcome back.
Head on. I'm listening.
Okay. It's bullshit.
I'm unseen.
Dawnflower, guide my hand.
Okay. The perception ones aren't here.
Forwards! No, back!
Nothing.
Time becomes distance.
I see something.
Step, step, step!
I believe I found something.
Is this the pantry?
Trail me.
I need to figure out if that's the pantry or not. I wish there was images. You can get the key in the pantry between. See? No, okay. This is the pantry. Okay. Many things. Okay, we did it. Now we have the shard. How do we find the Wiggling Man? I don't care. Okay. Oh my god. Big run of okay. Gotcha. I now know exactly where to find him. Let's just turn on this fan for now. Get some air circling out of my room.
Step, step, step.
Relieve. One.
Time becomes distance.
There we go, Wiggling Man's key. Okay. Wait, he did give us, yeah, okay, so that's that. Dark Master's robe. That's like a better one, I think. And then bam, bam, bam. you can get that removes strength. That makes the most sense, and then you get that one. Okay. Where are the... None of these help. Okay, so we go down to the basement? God. We're gonna have to rest after this. Where does that take us? Oh. That was good. Actually, first things first. So what's that do? Yeah, we should do that. And then that, and then... Okay.
I'm unseen.
Step, step, step!
Okay. We have to use the mist to find it, I believe. I wish we could just toggle it on and off via like a thing, but I don't think that's possible.
I'll try to make this swift.
Downed
One
better
with the tree.
ones.
That's where it is.
Unseen.
Elven Curve Blade turns into Savior. Heals the wielder for every hit.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Um.
Any fun to be had?
There we go. Okay.
Trail me.
Gotta travel through the mist. Get us back. Okay, good enough.
Blood for Gorum!
we? Level 17.
Like that? What? You didn't? They go down!
Wait. How do we get to Nissa? The locked doorway? On the second floor? Hold on. Yeah, this is a companion's thing. Scope companions get to the shrine. I don't understand. Ah. This, the middle part. Okay, we rest.
Unseen.
Okay, save. Here we go. I guess we're going into the final.
Forwards? No, backwards, backwards!
Oh,
You. The mistress punished me for failing to deal with you. And look, her favorites, the Nurly Witch and the Wriggling Man, have also failed. Think not of me. Did I not tell you that the shadows behind your back is always her? And the sound of footsteps in the dark, always her?
My hound. You have run so long to finally meet your mistress.
lawful good.
Oh, if you only knew what punishment it...
Arms!
Step back.
Let the attack commence.
Oh.
Onwards!
Go! So it's come to this.
I'll fight if I have to.
May I see your entrails, please?
Stay behind me!
Bleed for me.
Repent!
You can't stop me.
Burn! Slice! Behead, yes!
Death clutch.
Let us strike as one!
Where's his dragon transformation? B shape. No. Feared, no. Stone skin. I thought he could turn into a dragon. Okay, so it doesn't really matter.
Fear me.
Bring it!
You forced my hand. I'll try to make this swift.
Consider me provoked.
Die! 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 Surprise!
Do not falter!
I'll cut you.
Tear them apart!
So it's come to this. Repent!
This is for you!
Let the attack commence.
Oh my god.
Hey! Can someone...
I targeted the wrong.
Onwards!
Try to escape their view.
Whoops. I saw red and killed the wrong person.
Die for me.
They go down!
You forced my hand.
Oi.
May I see your entrails, please?
Healing so much.
Stay behind me!
I'll try to make this swift.
Burn! Slice! Behead!
Let us strike as one!
Bleed for me.
Bring it!
So it's come to this.
Die! Die! Die!
Land a hit, land a hit, land a hit. No! You didn't heal. You didn't heal. Yes.
Oh, shadows, embrace me.
Everything around stutters and scream 1,000 voices, suddenly but trembling. You watch as tiny dots of light of grain appear above the epoch.
My kingdom, my own kingdom, turn to dust. Become the 1,000th grain for the apology.
Ooh. Number 2.
I looked for it for such a long time. So long that I forgot why I needed it. But you,
Because I
why
want
do
justice
you,
for us, part of your soul, and
why
it
do
has to be
you want
returned
to
to you.
return what I lost to me? What does justice mean in matters of the soul? In the gains of great powers, in the beating of a living heart? It's just a word, and nothing more. If that's all that moves you, then forget it. I don't need this gift. Is this mercy? Or a cruel joke that I do not understand? Let it be. I accept your gift. I'll go to the trial of the eldest and give them the apology. It represents thousands of years of insanity. This must end.
Ooh. Slowly, luckily, so that moves towards you. This moves
You've pleased me, King of the Sand Castle. Now that the performance is almost over, we can take off our masks. Although I'll be sad to part with them. I am a voice from another world that you've heard since you first set foot on the Stolen Lands. A harbinger of doom and change. I am dust and echo, a memory of the past. I am the one who revealed to you the truth about the fallen goddess, who gave you the light capable of dispersing the mist.
I am the one who began this story, and I am the one who will end it. I am the eldest of the First World. I am the Lantern King.
Self-appointed god of the First World. Wasn't it enough for you to witness the hardships to which Nyrissa doomed innocent people? All because of your curse? Leave us alone!
You, a creature from the mortal world. You are just one of thousands of waves born in an ocean of my creation. Huh. You played your role well. So go, return to your fragile house, live your little toy life. Forget about the nymph Nyrissa and the matters of the First World. It's the most precious gift I can give to you. And I shall press on. The finale of my play draws near.
Okay.
Bring it before us as an offering, so that an eldest may sip from it, the curse said. Having filled the cup, Nyrissa appeared before the gods of the First World. That was when the Lantern King played another joke. He announced that the nymph, cursed for her attempt to become one of the eldest, would now get to be one. The eldest of dust and trampled hope, doomed to drink from her own cup and suffer terrible pain. Well, everyone got what they wanted. We got a peaceful kingdom, Nyrissa got her status as an eldest, and the Lantern King got a finale to his horrific performance. Now that the eldest and other spiteful beings wouldn't be bothering us, the king returned to his subjects and celebrated the victory and the end of the kingdom's miseries with great fanfare. Everything gradually returned to normal, including our exciting lives. Not always peaceful, but also not troubled by invasions from another world. And little by little, our heroes and the common folk began to forget the sorrows of the past. Under the wise leadership of the king, the Stolen Lands became a true country. There was still much to be done, of course, and some of it will need to be finished by our heroes' descendants. But there are no longer cut purses on every corner, and the peasants aren't afraid some new self-proclaimed chief will show up and strong-arm himself into power. Just half a year after the war with the First World, Galt moved its troops to the southern border of the kingdom. Their attack was rebuffed. The enemy state's infantry retreated when the army's wizards brought down rains of fire and magical arrows on the heads of the flabbergasted enemy soldiers. Since then, Galt hasn't risked crossing any borders again, fearing cruel retaliation for further insolence. The king's subjects praise his generosity, while citizens of neighboring lands groan from crippling taxes. Citizens of the Stolen Lands have it pretty good. Truth be told, the treasury isn't always capable of paying the royal bills, and the throne room's adornments are clearly decaying. But sometimes you have to buy the people's love, literally. The feud between Brevois North and South, which had been smoldering for ages, finally sparked the fires of civil war. We didn't interfere, watching as the forces of House Surtova and the Sword Lords slaughtered each other. Alternating between brief truces and fresh fights, Brevois was flooded with blood and grew weak. Its leaders could only watch helplessly as their border territories were slowly annexed by neighbors, until they fell to squabbling among themselves. The butchery in Brevoy jeopardized the peace of the entire region. Amiri didn't remain leader of the Tiger Lords for long. Ruling was certainly not her calling. The years she spent with them were enough for them to regain their forces, though, and they recovered to be one of the best mercenary armies in the region again. They revere her as a great hero, even more than they once worshipped Armagh, and they respect our king, of course. He was a comrade in arms of the great Amiri, after all. Their tribe came to be loyal allies. Pitax almost returned to its former state, a joyful city filled with beers of dubious quality and deals of questionable legality. The old trade houses lost the crown, but they retrieved the property Iravetti had taken from them. Soon, Pitax became almost like a second capital in the kingdom, a thriving city through which rivers of money from across the region ran. Unfortunately, we get much less of this money than we would like. Governor Liachenza turned out to be helpless against widespread embezzlement. Maestro Bellavara gave the Academy of the Arts a second wind. Throwing out mediocre students and sycophants, she gathered within its walls talented visionaries, rebels, and freethinkers. Those whose gifts felt cramped within the walls of more respectable institutions. She managed to do what Iravetti never could, namely, make the Academy truly famous, albeit scandalously so. Trolls and kobolds, two of the most savage native peoples living in the Gnarl Marches, were completely exterminated in the region. The forest paths became much safer, and the peasants' cattle have stopped going missing. After enduring so many storms and troubles, Varnhold eventually turned into a real city. Daring settlers decided to conquer the vast, wild expanses of Dunsword, and despite all odds, they succeeded. The modest colony that almost vanished at the hands of an ancient lich turned everything around to become a thriving city with lively river trading. After the kobolds and mites disappeared, the empty caves beneath the old sycamore quickly became home to all kinds of disgusting critters. Giant centipedes being the most innocent and pleasant of them. Attempts have been made to clear out the caves, but it never takes long for something to take up residence again. In the end, the decision was made to block the entrances and burn the giant tree down, destroying the roots that held up the ceiling of the caves. Oleg's trading post continues to thrive, attracting even more travelers. Much to its owner's displeasure, a small town is springing up around it. Despite Oleg's grumbling, he and his wife are well regarded by everyone, and Svetlana was even elected town chief. Making sure her sister was safe, the former bandit Kressel traveled south. Her trail went cold somewhere in Absalom's docks. They say she changed her name again and now serves on a trade ship, hiding from old acquaintances. Jod and Keston, after surviving the Bloom, remained loyal to the king they followed through thick and thin, and they continue to serve as court advisors to this day. The austere priest and the gloomy warrior regularly argue over the proper way to govern the state, as well as which of the two rulers should hear out first. Some things never change. Keston Garas took a post as chief of the kingdom's guard. The former heir to a noble family never returned to Brevoy, severing all ties to his kin. However, a few years after the victory over the First World, a girl arrived from Brevoy and soon married Keston. They say Keston started smiling a lot more after that. Jod remained loyal to the king to the end of his days, healing the sick and generously sharing his austere wisdom with anyone who wished to hear it, and some who didn't. Having fulfilled his duty to the ruler, Erastel's priest peacefully departed this world, surrounded by friends and disciples. Breinhardt became a loyal ally and trade partner of the kingdom, and Darvin himself had been seen as a frequent guest in the capital. The elegant monarch of the neighboring kingdom has broken many hearts at court. After his visits, many young guards and servants have been seen staring through.
Okay.
The lizard folk of the Longtail tribe returned to live on the shores of Candlemere, but they couldn't return to their ancient way of life. Living alongside people, the lizard folk adopted their behaviors, habits, and even religion. More and more of the Longtail tribe pray not to the spirits of their ancestors, but to Erastil or Gorum. They even began to forget their original language. I hope someone writes down their song. Evindra was glad to see the Lantern King's plans turn to dust. She spent some time helping restore the kingdom after the calamity, then returned home to the First World. They say the rebellious spirit of her cousin Nyrissa awoke within her as well. Evindra is said to recount our story to the Fae, encouraging them to question the power and might of the eldest. After the victory, the storyteller abandoned his affairs and began spending a lot of time alone in contemplation. He eventually bid farewell to the king and left his lands, but I suspect the inhabitants of Golarion haven't heard the last of this mysterious traveler, for his own story is hardly finished. Amiri remained a pariah to her native tribe, but she stayed close friends with Nylak, who ruled the Six Bears wisely and taught them to survive in the unfamiliar plains and cities. The restless barbarian would often travel for long stretches of time, but sooner or later she would always return to her old friends, bragging about new scars and recounting new feats, many of which Nylak immortalized in song. The Tiger Lords revered Amiri. Valerie stayed to serve the king, and to this day she continues to be a muse to many people. Not just bards and admirers, but to warriors as well. Honest and resilient, Valerie is not just famous for her feats in battle, but also for her patience and kindness, which she says the king helped her discover within herself. Octavia didn't stay still for very long. Soon, she and Reg went to Numeria and started a huge slave rebellion there. They didn't manage to destroy the Technic League, but to this day, slaves speak their names with admiration, and slavers with terror. Over the course of their journey, the two grew as close as ever, leaving their quarrels and resentments behind. After returning from Numeria, Octavia settled in her mother's house and became the king's advisor and loyal companion. Rigangar left for Numeria with Octavia to start a slave rebellion. Over the journey, he really matured and learned to understand others, as well as how to control his anger. After he returned, he took a position in the king's court. Being both formidable and charming, he inspired fear in the hearts of some and lust in others. There are even some rumors that he almost talked Octavia into marrying him, and possibly even continuing the Della Fiorni line. Once the war was over, Tristan kept his promise to Sarenrae. In the middle of celebrating the king's victory, the priest suddenly disappeared in a flash of light, vanishing forever. I hope Sarenrae didn't take the Movonic Deva's memory, so her servant might still remember us and the Stolen Lands. Or if she did, I hope he was at least able to forget everything about the lands in which he endured so much suffering. Jubilost returned to the life of a traveling explorer, frequently visiting his favorite kingdom. He said so himself. His famous work studying the First World all opened with a dedication to his longtime companion, the King. Another name was also mentioned, 2Z, my guide and inspiration. Admirers would ask Jubilost many times about this mystery lady, but he would only chuckle, hitch his knapsack on his shoulder, and as for Knock Knock, apologies, I mean Hero Knock Knock, he continued his questionably heroic efforts in the Stolen Lands. Despite whatever mess he fell into, no matter the danger he leapt into, he always seemed to scrape through just a little better off than before. Like true heroes, he simply never gave up, struggling on and meeting the challenge of each new day with a spirit that no mishap or misfortune could ever quell.
Go Knock Knock.
Despite all the woes that befell the country, our king remains a strong leader. Many noble houses from neighboring lands wouldn't hesitate to be related to him, and they regularly send a variety of marriage proposals. As for myself, the author of this book, Lindsay, who never chose a pretty nickname, I'm still here, inside my creation, within the Capitol Library. I live just like I always dreamed, surrounded by people and books, and not a day goes by without someone turning my pages. My story inspired many others to take up the quill. My readers have written many beautiful books and poems, transporting prisoners of humdrum lives into worlds of endless fantasy. What more could I dream of? I hope, oh honored reader, that this story inspired some creativity in you.
Okay. Oh. We're done. We're done. Whew. Well, that is the end of Kingmaker for Pathfinder. We do have Wrath of the Righteous. The next RPG game we'll be playing is Divinity Original Sin 2. And I'll see you guys for that next time. Till then, bye-bye.